Greetings, all you lovely learners in Learning Land. Tyler from 10thumbspro.com coming at you with another ukulele tutorial like we do every single Wednesday and Saturday. Today we're breaking down some funky blues, and we're even going to use a WahWah pedal. So we're going to talk about how a WahWah works, what it does, and we're going to talk about the 9 chord, the power of the 9 chord, and how you can use it to make your blues or any of your music sound more funky. Enable tabs by becoming a Patreon, links in the notes, links in the description as well. Skype lessons one-on-one if interested. Ready to get funky? I dig it and I respect it. Let's grab the ukulele. Brain and attention span. Once you have those 3 things, follow me on in and let's break this tutorial down together. Come on in. Let's do it. Okay, so the first things first, we have to get to know our chords, and I want to talk a little bit about what makes these chords special. These are known as the funky chords or the funk chords, and the funk chord is the dominant 9 or the 9 chord. So what a 9 chord is, well, let's talk about what a dominant chord is and a little bit of chord theory before we break this down. If I take a G major chord, the G major chord is composed of the G note, which is the root, the B note, which is the major third, and the D note, which is the 5th. To make this G note a G7, which is also known as a dominant 7, what you do is you add the flat 7th interval, which is the 5th. So now our G is G note, root, B note, major third, D note 5th, and our F note, the flat 5th or flat 7th, making a G7. To turn this chord into a G9, you have to add the 9, which is also the 2nd interval. I know that's kind of confusing, but what you would do is you would add an A note. Now, the ukulele only has 4 strings. So we only have the ability to create a 4-note 9 chord. So that means sometimes our 9 chords won't have the 5th in it, or sometimes they will be missing. You can even miss the root, for example. So we're going to build this structure around a 12-bar funky blues in A, and we're going to start with then our A9 chord, which is right here. Now, this particular chord actually doesn't have an A note. And I know that seems a little silly because it is an A9 chord, but the least important notes in defining our chord are actually the root note and the 5th note, because these notes, for example, the root note in an A chord is the A, and the 5th is the E. The A and the E are in the A major, A minor 7, A dominant, A major 7, A9. So those aren't the notes that define what type of chord it is. And if you have to, you can take out the A note or the 5th interval, the E note, because what you're doing is, for example, the bass might play the A note. So if the bass is responsible for that note, you're still able to complete that full harmony. Our A9 on our ukulele is going to be the 6th fret of the G string and the 7th fret of the C, E, and the A. We have here on the 6th fret, we have our, excuse me one second, let me figure this out, C sharp, which is the major third, which defines it as a major chord. We have the G note here on the 5th fret, which is the flat 7th, which defines it as a dominant chord. We have our B note here, which is our 9th interval. And we have our E, our 5th. So we have 4 of those 5 notes. We're just missing the A note, the root. And that is usually picked up with the bass. Your ear is still going to identify this in the progression as an A chord as well, which is super interesting. Continuing our chord theory, our 4 chord is going to be a D9. So what we do is we bar that 5th fret. We get our ring finger, or middle finger, sorry, on the 6th fret of the C, and our ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string. We have a C note, flat 7th. Here we have the F sharp, major third, the A note, the 5th, and the E note, which is the dominant note, or 9th note again. So again, we have built this D9, but we don't have a D note. To make this an E9, you simply move it up 2 frets, barring the 7th fret, middle finger on the 8th fret of the E, and your ring finger on the 9th fret of the A string. Again, we are building a E9 without an E note. Okay, so that's the chord theory, how these chords are created. The 9 is what makes them funky. Let's take a look at the 12-bar progression. The first 4 measures are going to be A9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bars 5 and 6, D9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go back to our A9 for bar 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. E9. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's bar 9. 10. D9. 1, 2, 3, 4. A9 for bar number 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. E9 for bar number 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, another characteristic of funk, whether it's a funky vamp, whether it's a Shaft song, whether it's Bobby Womack, Earth, Wind, and Fire, whether it's any of these guys, is the 16th. 1E into 2E into 3 into 4E. 1E into 2E into 3 into 4E into. So let's go ahead and get our hand loose. We're going to take our left hand and put it over the strings, and we're not going to play any particular chord, and we're just going to move our right hand 1E into 2E into 3 into 4E into 1E into 2E into 3 into 4E, and verbalize it, okay? Speak it out loud. 1E into 2E into 3 into 4E into 1E into 2E into 3 into 4E. 1E into 2E into 3 into 4E. Notice how you don't want your hand getting really big strums because it's pretty quick, so keeping it tighter is going to help a lot. Loose wrist, 1E into 2E into 3 into 4E into 1E into 2E into 3 into 4E. Aiming for between the sound hole and the neck as well to maximize our speed and get a nice clean tone. Okay, so let's look at a strum pattern now. We're going to do a common 16th strum pattern that we've done before to help a little bit, one that some of you have probably seen on the channel, and it's down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up. So let's go ahead and break that down. We're going to do 4 downs and an up. 1, 2, 3, 4, up. Down, 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 up. Okay? Then we're going to add 2 more ups. Down, 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 up, 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 down. After that last up, you're going to hit a down. That down's on the 4th beat. So you're going to follow that down with an up, a down, and an up. Down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, down, down. I'm doing the wrong chord. Sorry. No, that's the right chord. I'm on my A9. Okay, now, to give it even a little more effect, you can squeeze and release with your left hand to get a little more of a percussive sound, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the WahWah and how the WahWah works and what we're going to do to effectively play with the WahWah, okay? So we're going to change the camera angle a little bit and rock that out. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm moving my foot up and down. I'm cradling it. And you can see I'm moving my foot up and down 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I'm just moving my foot as I would tap it if I were playing normally. This is the easiest way to introduce yourself to this rhythm. There are more complicated WahWah rhythms, but this is definitely the one that's A, the most classic, and B, the one that you want to become comfortable with at first. Okay, just move it up and down. You don't even have to play it first. Then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to introduce the strum pattern to it. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and start to add the strum pattern to it. Okay, so now we've seen the chords, we've done the theory, we've seen the strum pattern. What we're going to do now is we've seen the chord progression. So now we're going to put everything together with the WahWah and put it all in play into a 12-bar blues. All right, so grab your ukulele and let's do this. All right, my Funk Master Flex friends, that's a tongue twister. Funk Master Flex friends, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, learn with us, new ukulele every single Wednesday and Saturday. Links up there, links below to becoming a Patreon. It will accelerate your learning, and all support turns into support. Skype Lessons 101 again, if you're interested, email me 10thumbsproductions@gmail.com. You'll see your 10 Thumbs t-shirts up there as well. And until next time, keep on rocking and rolling. Keep on loving life, friends. All good. Take care of yourselves. Ciao.